Hello, welcome back again to more GBO2. We've got, actually, another space round. We've got a space match with the Sazabi today. Sazabi's cool. We like the Sazabi. Yeah, Sazabi's pretty. Sazabi's pretty. It's a cool mobile suit. I like Char's counterattack suits in general. Really, so, like, my favorite suits all come from either Char's counterattack or 0080 War in the Pocket. Those are all my favorite mobile suits. Those are all very good designs. Just fantastic suits. But regardless, yeah. So we got a space match with this one. This one came out pretty okay, I think. Yeah, this one came out pretty okay. Sazabi is interesting. As you can see, it's got the beam rifle that charges. Uncharged, it fires like a shotgun blast almost, and then it's a single blast when charged, excuse me. And it's got, what really sets it out is these two melee weapons that are obscenely gigantic. Like, you'll notice that beam saber is unnecessarily huge. You're gonna hit people from way farther away than you have any right to. And the beam sabers are the same. I think they are a little bit less, like they don't have as much range. But yeah, going back into the suit, I hadn't used it for a while, and going back into it, I had to kind of relearn just how insane my melee arc is. We're trying to get a lock. Did manage to actually finally get a lock with the funnels. That can be a death sentence a lot of times if you're just not keeping things center frame as nicely as you should be. I do recommend just giving up. If you're spending so long trying to lock on that they're like managing to hit you, and it's just not, it's just a bad idea, waste of time. That one looked like it had some sort of eye field. You could see the dispersion effect on the particle beam. So that was interesting. Oh, right, and equipment-wise, it's also got, like, a mega particle cannon attached to sort of, like, the stomach area. That's the one you saw me use while boosting earlier. I think I was boosting anyway at the time. It fires, like, I think 3 shots. Can stun, I think, when they stack. It's also got the follow funnels that you see right there. And we saw the lock-on funnels. What else? Oh, and it has missiles in the shield that I never use. Yeah, you won't be seeing those. I completely forget it has them throughout the entirety of the match. Gotten taken down by a Phoenix. That's funny. I wonder if they've got a new Gundam. I haven't been super paying attention so far. We are in the lead by a fair margin. It can still be, well, it can still be taken back. We've still got another 5.5 minutes of time left on the clock. I would hope they can still get it back. Point being, it's as mentioned in the last video too, with 700-point rooms, you know, that score can change pretty quickly. So we're already seeing them creeping very close after just a couple kills. So I am hanging back a little bit. I maybe spawned in a little bit too quickly. I wanted to get up there and help out the team since there were other teammates at the time I spawned in, but they've all dropped now. It's just me and one other person. The best thing I can do is not die at the moment. Just try not to stick my neck out too far. I'm going to try and back up one because he's getting swamped right now. Smartly, they put up their shields. That'll help give them a little bit more time while their teammates are spawning in, which thankfully we've got now. Everybody's starting to spawn in mass. Again, you can see the range on that beam saber. It's just atrocious. That mega particle cannon in the is it the stomach? I guess it's the stomach, doing some really good damage there. Didn't get a stun off on it, sadly. I'm not sure exactly what the requirements are for stunning on that one. It might be all 3 hitting, which isn't typically too hard. It's a pretty big beam, so he smartly put up his shield as well, but unfortunately there were 4 of us, excuse me. So yeah, shield didn't help him for too long, but it was at least something. He probably should have been dedicated. Well, okay, I guess being dedicated to backing out wouldn't really help him, since at that point, yeah, he doesn't have any other allies on the field. He would have just backed up and died anyway. Enemies are starting to spawn back in now. I think either that or they had backed out. Not quite sure what it is, because it's weird that it's just the two if they're spawning back in. You can see there's a third one that just showed up as well, but still, they're staggering in a way that's probably not a good idea. This is letting us pick them off one by one. So that's a little bit odd if that was a sort of dedicated movement by the other two. They really should have waited for a little bit, waited to have other allies ready to spawn in. If it was just that they weren't ready to spawn in, we're doing some damage to the base here now, by the way. While we can, while things are... Oh, you do get to see the missiles! I take it back! You get to see the missiles a bit right there. I swear, these are tougher, like more... I feel like the bases have stronger melee... Well, I know they have stronger melee defense, but stronger beam defense than they do physical defense. Because I'm pretty sure, like, my shield missiles do way more damage than my beam weapons, which feels crazy, honestly. Because the shield missiles are not that powerful. Like, they're not crazy damaging missiles. They're kind of like chip damage. But I'm pretty sure I see noticeable chips on the base when compared to my beam weapons that, in theory, should be hitting for a lot more damage individually. So yeah, I'm pretty sure bases have higher beam defense than they do physical defense, which honestly kind of makes sense, because once you start getting into the higher level stuff, a lot of it's going to be mainly using beam weapons. So to have them be, you know, weaker to beams, even if that makes sense, which is kind of an if, I'd have to look into the original crafts and see kind of like when they're developed in terms of 1 year war. Oh, those are 1 year war crafts, actually. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I'm overthinking things. We're now getting isolated because most of our team died, and now we're pushed way too far forward, trying to figure out some way to line up shots to at least do something before we drop. I swear that should have hit. That looked really odd. I'm not quite sure what happened here. That was a terrible swing on my part, though. Completely missed the guy I was actually swinging for. Swung way too early, hit an ally instead. That was awful. We understandably kind of got dropped after a little bit there, but thankfully, since we managed to destroy the enemy base, that's not costing us too much yet. Yeah, but sadly, we're going to be out for a little bit. Our team is back full force. Luckily, they're taking some hits on 1 and 3. I think 3's... There he goes. 3's dropping now. 1 is close behind. He's probably... Yep, there he goes as well. So now we've just got 2 and 4. So with 30 seconds left on the clock, I am going to jump in, try to boost into the fray as quickly as possible, just to at the very least try and divert some fire, because if we can at least survive this oh, we're actually a good... Oh no, actually, since it is... No, we're still a good bit ahead. Anyway, unfortunately, clearly I couldn't manage to actually do much, so we are both backing up. I want to try and pretty much distract as much as possible, try and slow down the enemies so that they don't take out 4. Couldn't manage it, sadly. Bad shot placement on my part for the most part. We still ended up winning, luckily. But yeah, that plan didn't quite work. We probably needed to try to be more aggressive on the back step at that point to try and get out of the way. But it is what it is. 5th place is not, you know, it's fine. We did fine. We could have done a lot better. I don't know if I needed to be more aggressive necessarily, but my accuracy was not on point with this one. And I think that's really where the issues lie in regards to my overall damage. Maybe could have used funnels better too. I'm thinking about it, especially near the end. I wasn't using the funnels too much. My kind of rule of thumb is like funnels should be deployed. If you've got a mobile suit that has funnels, why aren't you using your funnels? And sometimes the answer is because you're using the follow funnels or because they're overheated. Those are good answers. But unless those two things are happening, they should be deployed. You know, the new Gundam is an interesting one because it's got the shield, so it's sort of like, do you want the funnels out or do you want to be using the shield? And if you don't want to be using the shield, you should have your funnels out, especially because that one... I don't think the Sazabi is the same, but the new Gundam can launch its funnels while boosting. So while you're boosting into the fray, lock onto a target, launch the funnels, go to whatever you're going to do from there. Just forget about them from there, because they're already gone, they're out, they're doing what they need to do. They are extra damage on top of whatever else you are trying to put on the enemy target. So yeah, always have your funnels out. If you're having a hard time locking funnels, give up on the funnels because you're wasting time at that point. Get something else on target, possibly get a stun so that you can actually take the time to lock on with the funnels. That's what I do with the Cubile, or did until I stopped using it because they nerfed it and I hate what they did with it. Probably talked about that one, but they specifically damaged the way I specifically use the Cubile. I'm quite upset about it. But regardless, I think that's going to do it for this video for today. Maybe I should do a Cubile video soon. Well, anyway, we'll see you next time.